There are interesting observations going on in our world right now that are worthy of note, especially for having impeccable similarities that somehow are also in direct contradiction to each other. For starters, a while back, a man was shot and unalived, and bizarrely enough, we witnessed two completely different views, so not unanimous. A massive amount of supporters from one specific political party celebrated the incident with words such as, "He put this on himself and he deserved it." And what makes this noteworthy is that the other political party was in disagreement and were actually outraged, almost as if the unaliving perhaps was not morally justifiable, but had the appearance of being justifiable through one political party lens. Sometime later, a woman is shot and unalived, and the very same thing happens. A massive amount of supporters from one specific political party celebrates the incident with words of, "She put this on herself and she deserved it." And yet again, the opposing party was in disagreement and outraged, almost as if the unaliving was perhaps not morally justifiable, but had the appearance of being justifiable through only one of the political party lenses. But what makes this truly profound is how the political stances of these incidents are surprisingly inconsistent in the fact that they completely flip from one incident to the other, almost as if the politics has become the new moral standard by which we pass judgment. This is seen right now and also throughout history. We call it a double standard. It is really embarrassing to realize how easily manipulated we are, how truly stated it is that our emotions can be directed at the moving hand of political suggestion. And I know what you're thinking. No way that's me. I came to these decisions all by my own critical thinking. It had nothing to do with my political affiliation, except the data strongly suggests otherwise. The data shows that you would have initially discovered both incidents through a platform where you receive news that will undoubtedly be a platform that aligns with your political party due to algorithms. And therefore, the source of said news will be shared from a corresponding perspective. And that perspective will result in the lens you first receive a projection to formulate an opinion. It's very difficult for us to be honest that this is happening to us. But the data itself is precise and shows us otherwise. So it's quite worthy of considering what I'm vulnerably sharing right now. Not one supporter from either political party finds it easy to be willing to accept this notion that their opinions of unaliving someone who brought it on themselves and deserved it could be a position that is manipulatable. Not one supporter from either side seems openly willing to recognize the possibility that their opinions are swayed by their leaders or media platforms of the party they associate with. But if it's not true, then why are the judgments on two different people so blatantly uniform when looking into that contrast where each incident happened to have a specific political stance leaning one way for one incident and a different way for the other one? So is one party wrong and the other one right? Do you for real believe that is what is happening? The data itself isn't inaccurate here. This observation is corroborated. But it goes even further because there are also people out there who do not particularly align themselves politically one way or the other, because neither party seems to be wholeheartedly in alignment with the stances of their kingdom. These same folks would say that morals do not come from human intellect, but instead from spirit. There is no algorithm that can predict which perspective can be used to influence them. And so these stances of these individuals is that neither of the incidences are justifiable and neither of these people deserve what happened to them. I promise you that I am not stating any of this to pass judgment upon someone, but I have brought it up in order to bring it to our attention that the lens of the world is egregiously persuasive. Discernment will always be challenged beyond our human abilities to grasp it independently. If we're going to lean on our own strength and intellect, failure and falling short will remain a predictable, identifiable, categorical pattern. Opinions and beliefs become systematically programmable. It's not even a question at this point. The evidence is right here staring in our faces. If we can just drop the ego response of believing that we are perfectly in control of our own thoughts and that we're not deceivable or so easily fooled. It takes a real big person to be able to admit that. There are several studies out there called the Ash conformity experiments, the ambiguity effects, cognitive bias, and group norm developments. And they talk all about this. But even without those, we just simply see it right now in real time, right in front of us. So the point of all this is, if any of us truly hope to overcome this realistic struggle, it starts with admitting to ourselves that deceit is out there and we succumb to it. We all got to recognize it's going to take getting our education from a different source, a different teacher, one who is infallible and completely trustworthy, always and forever, from the beginning of time until the end of time. We're talking the source of objective morality. I know a guy who fits this description. He was even willing to die for this very cause. His verbal stances are there for us to read for ourselves in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And his followers were all willing to be tortured for confirming their teacher didn't just die for a cause, but also came back to life to complete it. Which is why we ourselves are better off discarding these manipulatable worldviews and instead reclaim our innocence. That's ours for the taking. We are children of God, not this earth. We are chosen and cherished with immeasurable value and worth. Do not look upon others from the world lens. Always, always look upon each other through the lens of the Father. Jesus showed us to wash each other's feet, which was signifying to apologize, forgive, and apologize. And he didn't even have anything to apologize for, but he still washed their feet anyway. I'm choosing to look at that as my example because I've never met anyone else like that.